Have you ever heard about the fate of Van Gogh's Sunflowers painting? It's one of the most fascinating stories in the art world. Vincent van Gogh, a supremely talented artist, lived a life of emotional turmoil and financial struggle. Despite his masterful technique and unique style, he only managed to sell one painting during his lifetime. His Sunflowers, a vibrant and striking piece, didn't receive the appreciation it deserved. It was bought by his brother Theo, who never lost faith in Vincent's talent, for a humble sum of 400 francs, equivalent to about $800 today. Fast forward to the year 1987, the same painting, once overlooked and undervalued, created a sensation in the art world. It was auctioned off for a staggering $82.5 million. So a painting that was once sold for a mere 400 francs later fetched a whopping $82.5 million. Switching gears, remember those little stuffed toys, Beanie Babies? They were all the rage in the 90s. Ty Warner, the man behind the craze, created these collectibles with limited production runs and unique designs. This strategy fueled a collecting frenzy unlike anything seen before. People would queue up outside stores at ungodly hours just to get their hands on these cuddly creatures. While the craze did eventually die down, some rare Beanie Babies can still fetch a pretty penny. So what started as a simple toy turned into a valuable collectible for some. Speaking of unexpected success, have you heard about the accidental creation of Coca-Cola? Back in the late 19th century, pharmacies used to concoct their own syrups for medicinal purposes. John Pemberton, a pharmacist, was trying to create a new headache remedy when he accidentally carbonated his syrup. The result? A refreshing beverage that people couldn't get enough of. He began selling it at his pharmacy's soda fountain, and the rest, as they say, is history. And that's how a pharmacy concoction turned into one of the most popular beverages in the world. Moving on to something more historical, did you know Manhattan was supposedly bought for beads? It's a story that's been told and retold, with some details hotly debated, but the gist remains the same. In the early 17th century, Dutch colonists allegedly bought Manhattan Island from the native Lenape people. And the price? A handful of trinkets, beads, and cloth, valued then at about 60 guilders or around $24 in today's currency. Imagine an entire island, now one of the world's most bustling metropolises, bought for what seems like a pittance. Of course, the concept of land ownership was vastly different for the Lenape, adding layers of complexity to this transaction. Today, Manhattan's real estate is valued in the trillions, a mind-boggling increase from its original purchase price. So, a deal that seemed trivial back then is now one of the most expensive real estate transactions in history. Lastly, let's talk about something more recent. Have you ever heard about the baseball card that was sold with gum? Yes, you heard that right. Back in the day, baseball cards were just an addition to chewing gum packages. But as sports card collecting gained momentum, these seemingly insignificant cards turned into precious collectibles. Some cards, like the Honus Wagner T206, even fetched millions at auction. And that's how a small piece of cardboard that came with gum became a valuable collectible. Opening. Before we wrap up, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment with your own crazy investment stories. All right, let's take a moment to step back from the whirlwind of these wild tales we've been sharing. From unappreciated masterpieces to Beanie Baby frenzies, accidental soda recipes to costly beads, and even baseball cards bought for a stick of gum, we've covered a lot of ground. Each story, a testament to the unpredictability of value, the power of happenstance, or the foresight of those who dared to believe in something others overlooked. Now, we're curious to hear from you. Have you ever made an investment that seemed a little out there at the time? Maybe you bought a batch of comic books from a yard sale, only to discover a rare first edition tucked away in the stack. Or perhaps you picked up a vintage toy from a thrift store, not knowing it was a collector's item worth a small fortune. We live in a world where value can be found in the most unexpected places. The items we've discussed today were once considered ordinary, mundane even. However, due to various factors, they transformed into treasures, offering returns that would have been unimaginable at the time of their purchase. So, what's your story? Have you stumbled upon a garage sale gem or thrift store treasure? Or maybe you were gifted something as a child that's now worth a surprising amount? Did you hold on to your old video games, vinyl records, or even action figures, only to discover they're now highly sought after by collectors? We want to hear about your experiences. Whether it's a small win, like finding a valuable book at a secondhand store, a big score like discovering a rare piece of artwork in your attic, or even an investment that didn't quite pan out the way you hoped. After all, they say one man's trash is another man's treasure. Remember, it's not just about the monetary value. Sometimes the true worth of an item comes from its emotional significance, or the story it tells. Perhaps you own a piece of memorabilia from your favorite band, or a signed book from an author you admire. These items may not make you a millionaire, but they're priceless in their own right. So why not take a moment to share your story with us? Drop a comment down below and let us know about your unique finds, your surprising windfalls, or your beloved keepsakes. We'd love to hear about the meaning they hold for you. And who knows, your story might just inspire someone else to start exploring the world of unexpected treasures. Plus, your interaction helps support this channel and allows us to continue bringing you fascinating stories and insights from around the world. So go ahead, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and ring that notification bell so you never miss out on our latest content. We're all about sharing intriguing stories, exploring the quirks of the world, and sparking conversations. We appreciate your engagement, your curiosity, and your eagerness to dive into the strange, the unexpected, and the downright amazing. Stay tuned for more fascinating stories like these.